So in this segment, we're going to be discussing the chair of the Conservative Party being parachuted into a safe seat, and the Conservative Party. I think I'm mad about this, but the media are absolutely not having it based on previous statements he's made about his other constituency.
So you can't justify.
All right, so I've got to add this bit in. I didn't realise there's actually a little bit longer of that clip.
It looks like a stitch-up. Chairman of the party, shortlist of one, just before nominations close. How is that not an appalling stitch-up and anti-democratic?
Emily Thornberry.
So that's the bit I want to add. Chairman of the party, and a shortlist of one. So the local Conservative Party, or whatever you call it, the ones who make the decisions, it has no say in who their representative is. And it will most likely be him, given that it's a safe seat, and that's wild. Like it just shows you how kind of undemocratic the party political systems are when they can do this kind of stuff. And I didn't realise what was said initially, and it was a really fair point there. And this is really deeply, in my opinion, grossly undemocratic. But we'll go on to the actual rest of the video.
The way you have been parachuted into Basildon and Billericay, you're not denying it's a stitch-up and it's anti-democratic.
Emily Thornberry today has admitted...
I'm going to stop you now. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. You said in an interview earlier this year you were bloody loyal to the North East. What happened to that?
John, I've already answered these questions.
No, you haven't.
Actually, I have.
When?
When I did a Channel 4 News interview last week.
Oh, right. It's one broadcaster, isn't it? This is a pool interview for all the other broadcasters.
So just quickly, how it works is they do the pool interview, so all the broadcasters can use the pool clip. So I think it saves politicians from answering like the same questions from different broadcasters. It saves everyone time. So what they do is I think they just give a list of questions to ask the politician, and whatever the answer is, it goes to the different broadcasters. We've seen Sunak bungle this. I think Starmer has bungled it a few times as well. So that's why the guy's kind of mad. The interview is kind of mad. He's just saying, like, you've answered it to one broadcaster, like, this would answer it to the majority of them.
Broadcasters agreed with the questions.
No, nobody agreed with that at all. Well, I've got a list here of questions from other broadcasters.
All three broadcasters agreed. Everyone on this...
Nobody's agreed. No, absolutely not. No, absolutely.
I love you got the kind of media manager in the background is like, trying to kind of breaking the fourth wall here, saying, no, everyone's agreed to this. And the journalist's like, no, we haven't.
Not the proof. They all agreed this. Well, if that's where it's going to go, then we'll just leave, because that's not what we agreed to come here today to discuss.
Well, I kept trying, and Richard Holden there, not his finest hour.
Imagine being that scared of answering a basic question, which is, why do you think it was good that you were parachuted into a safe seat, despite what you said about your loyalties to the Northeast, and Bro couldn't answer it. It's embarrassing, to be honest with you. And you can see how nervous he was when the question came up. If we rewatch this just quickly.
So you can't justify the way you have been parachuted into Basildon and Billericay. You're not denying it's a stitch-up and it's anti-democratic.
I mean, the framing here is something.
Emily Thornberry today has admitted...
He jumps to his stock answer talking about Emily Thornberry, doesn't even address it. And I'm glad he pulled the interview. I'm glad he stopped it, because that's what journalists should do. If politicians like him, like Richard Holden here, refuse to answer the question, just pull the interview and just say, no, this is ridiculous. You're not going to answer the question. I'm not going to have this put out where you can just spin a nonsense answer and have this go out as the pull clip. I'm not sure if it did, but honestly, it's just so stupid that Richard Holden's gone down this line. The fact that they put him up is probably the reason why he got the safe seat, because he's one of those kind of party loyalists, or maybe a Sunak loyalist. But again, there are serious questions to be raised about how candidates are selected for political parties. It's very undemocratic. We've seen, what the Labour Party did to Fazia Shaheen and Diane Abbott. It's there really needs to be a lot more transparency into the way these things are done, because at the end of the day, these are elected officials who work on behalf of the taxpayer. So we should have some transparency into how they are selected by their local parties. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Support the channel on Patreon if you can. And yeah, as you can tell, I greatly enjoyed this.